Now, Ms. Carroll, let's talk about this. How about growing on slopes? What do you think about that?
Well, slopes are a lot of times a real issue with homeowners. We will see that they had to do maybe some severe grading to get that house or that subdivision into that property, and then you have to deal with the steep slope. We really don't like to mow slopes. It can be dangerous. It can be hard to even grow grass on them if there's a lot of erosion. So what we try to do is think about different ways to deal with it. Number one, and this sounds apparent, it's not always true, is water runs downhill. I see a lot of people kind of forget about that. So if water's running down the slope and eroding your soil, number one thing you might think about is how do I divert that water? It might take a berm across the top of that slope to divert it down to safer areas so that you can start to get something established on that slope. And if that's not possible, you're going to have to do something to stop the water running down that slope in order for those plants to take purchase. So you could do terracing, which could be a more formal kind of thing with landscape timbers or stone or pavers, or you could actually do kind of temporary things until the plant takes purchase. And I will take common sticks that I've picked up in the woods, using something like straw or pine straw, and I'm making little temporary fences. Just letting that straw or that pine straw was going to catch and stop that erosion while my plants take purchase. And then once the plants have grown over all that and had a chance to get their roots established, then that's going to rot and disappear and improve the soil anyway. But you can't just plant things on there, and I, of course, have some favorite plants that can cover slopes quite well. Winter jasmine is one of my favorites. It's a beautiful weeping shrub that will anchor wherever it touches the ground. Appears to be evergreen, although it's not, because it's such a dense green stem, a lot of stems coming out of that one base. It blooms in winter, January jasmine or winter jasmine, but we have to get those things established. So stop that water flow, and again, I can address this in more detail.
Wow, that's some good stuff. Now for your winter jasmine, conditions, sun, shade? Winter
jasmine will take either sun or shade as long as it's got good drainage. It will not tolerate a wet site. It's a really nice plant, one of my favorite plants to use. I love it when I need to hide ugly walls, or it actually, if you plant it at top of a tall wall, it'll cascade and almost act like a vine. And of course, I appreciate anything that blooms in the winter. Now, people may confuse it with Florida jasmine, which is not quite as hardy. Winter jasmine is a different plant. One of the scientific names that I really like, Jasminum nudiflorum, because it flowers on the nude wood, on the bare wood.
Nudiflorum.
Yes. But slopes, to me, is one of the ways that we lose a lot of soil. We need to think about how we can anchor them. Ground covers, again, are an option, but I like to see sweeps of different plant materials, and I actually prefer shrubbery over ground covers a lot of times when we have a big area.
Shrubbery over the ground cover, okay. What about grasses?
Grasses are a possibility, certainly, and grasses have good deep roots that could anchor. The thing I love about a shrub is you start computing how many ground covers you need per square foot, it turns into a lot of money very quickly, whereas the right type of shrub, a shrub selection, could cover 6 to 8 to 10 feet. You know, so you're looking at a lot fewer plants overall and having to water that many fewer plants and take care of their anchored needs until they get established. Mulch is probably not going to stick. Forget pine nuggets, shredded bark.
Those
pine needles or straw would work, you know, because we talked about it, as long as we use some sticks to anchor it. And some people can actually stick cuttings of plants that root easily right into that ground. Eleagnus bingii would probably do that if it's stuck at the right time. Forsythia would be great. Forsythia roots easily. You can stick those cuttings in the ground during cool, moist times of the year. That's going to form a massive weeping shrub that's going to help stop that erosion. So that could be part of your sticks, is that these are actually plants that are going to take root and help anchor that slope.
How about planting trees, though, on slopes? Is that a good idea or not? Or?
Certainly, I think it can be. And a lot of times there may be a place that you absolutely want a tree. Again, you're probably going to have to build some kind of containment system to give it support while it gets established. Perhaps a little mini wall. Think about how the water has to move around. But the thing about water runs downhill is remember that and take care of that. Stop and slow that movement of soil while they get established.
Water flows downhill, folks.
Yes. You'd think people would know that, but it's surprising. I'll go, where was the water going to go? People didn't think of it. And sometimes these are actually landscapers I've seen. You know, you didn't leave a place for the water to go.
Right. So. How about that? Thank you again for that wonderful information, Ms. Carey. We always appreciate that.
Glad to do it.
All right.
Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. To find out more information on this topic, just click on the familyplotgarden.com link in the description.